Minnesota Department of Human Services Background Studies. NETStudy 2.0 Creating NETStudy 2.0 User Accounts. Welcome to this NETStudy 2.0 video-based training. This is a training video on how to create new NETStudy 2.0 user accounts for other users under your entity. For a written transcript of this video, select Show Transcript from the YouTube menu. For subtitles, select the Close Captions or Settings button. As a reminder, due to ongoing enhancements to NETStudy 2.0, you may notice slight variations between the images captured in this video and the version of NETStudy 2.0 you use. For this video, and in the NETStudy 2.0 system, the term entity refers to the NETStudy 2.0 user at the program, facility, educational program, or other entity that initiates background study applications. Now with the housekeeping out of the way, let's get started. The Minnesota Department of Human Services, DHS, will create the user account for the Background Study Sensitive Information Person, commonly known as the SIP. Once the SIP accesses NETStudy 2.0, the SIP may create other users. Other users with the administrative rights role will also be able to create other users. To begin, select Admin in the toolbar. In the drop-down, select User Accounts. On the User Accounts screen, select the Add New User button. On the User Accounts screen, the required fields have a red asterisk. Select Enabled from the Status drop-down and select No in the Is Pending drop-down. The username must be the new user's email address. Enter the user's first name, last name, email address, and phone number. Then, in the User Type dropdown, select Provider. Before you establish the roles for the new user, consider what is needed for the person to complete the functions that they will be responsible for in NETStudy 2.0. The roles you select will determine what the new user can see and do in the system. To comply with data privacy requirements, it is critical that you determine the roles based on the minimum necessary rule. Please carefully review the roles before assigning them. To see a description of each role, select the blue eye next to the role listed in the box on the left side of the screen. This will display the description of the role. Users with administrative rights role will be able to create other new users, initiate and submit background study applications, manage rosters, view background study results, and receive entity communications. Users with the standard rights role have the same abilities as users with administrative rights, except standard rights does not allow the user to create new users. Users with initiate and submit only role allows the user to only initiate and submit background study applications. These users will not have the ability to view background study results, receive provider communications, or manage rosters. Users with the View Results Only role will only be able to view background study results and receive entity communications. These users will not be able to initiate and submit background study applications or manage rosters. Users with the Payment Only role will only be able to pay for background study applications. They will not be able to initiate new applications, view background study results, manage rosters, or receive communications. The Minnesota communication rule is different from the others. This rule does not control access to the system, and therefore, one of the other roles must also be selected in combination with this role. It is used to inform DHS whether the entity is allowing background study information to be shared with this user via email or over the phone. DHS staff are only able to communicate with the SIP or with users that are assigned a role that allows them to receive communications. This includes the administrative rights, standard rights, and view results only roles, as well as anyone who has the Minnesota communication role. DHS will always assign the SIP the administrative rights role. This allows the SIP to create other user accounts. The SIP may want another user at the entity to also be able to create new users. The SIP will then designate the new user account with the administrative rights role and must include all the roles in the selected column and all the roles in the grantable column. This will allow the new user to be able to grant these roles to future users. The SIP is responsible for the actions of all users. Because of this, the entity must be careful when granting roles to other users. When assigning any other role, you simply need to check the box in the selected column. Once a role is assigned, you must also assign at least one provider listed under providers. Entities that operate more than one program may choose to assign just one program to the new user, more than one program, or even all programs. To assign specific providers, select the Assign Providers link, and the Assign Providers box will display. You must keep in mind the minimum necessary rule when assigning providers to new users. Do not assign providers to a new user if the user will have no business need to see background study information for that provider. And start by entering at least 3 characters of the provider's name. Then, select the search button. When the provider's name appears in the Select Providers section, select the provider's linked name, and you will see the provider name moving to the right side of the box under the Providers Assigned to Users section. Once you have assigned the appropriate providers to the user, select Save in the lower right corner of the box. Once you have filled out the new user's account information and assigned roles and providers, select Save in the lower right corner of the screen. If you successfully completed the user account, you will receive a Save Successful message at the top of the screen. The new user will receive an email generated by the NETStudy 2.0 system that contains a temporary password. You are responsible for notifying the new user of their username. For security, the username is not included in the email generated with the password. New users will need both the temporary password and their username to log into NETStudy 2.0 for the first time. For more information, see the training video on logging in. A link is in the description below. To go back to the list of user accounts, select the Back to Search button in the lower right corner of the screen. Additional information is available in the NETStudy 2.0 user manual. To access the manual, select the Help link in the upper right corner of NETStudy 2.0. Then, select the NETStudy 2.0 user manual link to open it in a new tab. Thank you for your interest in this portion of NETStudy 2.0.
Copyright 2024 State of Minnesota, Department of Human Services. Produced by Minnesota Department of Human Services. 444 Lafayette Road, St. Paul, Minnesota 55155. 651-431-2000. Toll free, 800-657-3663. Toll free TTY, 800-627-3529. Videophone, 651-964-1514. Website, https://mn.gov/DHS/. The Minnesota Department of Human Services, DHS, prohibits discrimination in its public services because of race, color, creed, religion, political beliefs, national origin, sex, public assistance status, marital status, age, sexual orientation, or disability. Direct discrimination complaints to the DHS Civil Rights Coordinator at dhs.info@state.mn.us or 651-431-2000. Individuals with disabilities may request reasonable modifications to receive DHS services by contacting its Americans with Disabilities Act Coordinator at dhs_ada@state.mn.us or 651-431-3040.